My friend, thank you for joining us for this most important podcast. This is the podcast that stopped the DSDI, ended evil's tyranny and oppression, and liberated humanity. All because of you. Yes, you. Act on this. This is something that you are not just hearing. No, you are taking action on it because you are the inspired visionary leader the world has needed. Hi, I'm Dan Klatt. This is Operation Greatness podcast number 87. And this is the most important thing every one of us has ever done. We're going to stay tuned for this. I mean, do this whole Operation Greatness Action Pod number 87 because I'm going to genuinely, sincerely ask that you allow this podcast to be personally worth at least $12,000 to you. Will you do that? Will you allow it to be worth substantially more than that? Because this is the greatest thing humanity has ever done. And at the later in the podcast, near the end, maybe, we're going to do a meditation and we're going to visualize, which means we are all coming together. We're connecting as our human family, and we're going to create this world we require. I'll give you a little hint. And I want you to think of this as you're planting the seed, and this is where you are giving your power and how you are creating your life and how we are together creating our world. All 8 billion of us are wealthy, sovereign, and free. And then you say it for yourself, and I'll say it for you because of you. And you say because of me. All 8 billion of us are wealthy, sovereign, and free because of me, because of you, because of all of us doing this together right here. We're going to do that meditation shortly toward the end of this action pod number 87. So, are you ready for this? This is the turning point of your life, and it's the turning point, the monumental turning point in human history because of you. Let me show you. Okay, we're doing this through. I'm doing this as a video, and if you're hearing this, then you're going to want to for sure go to 120generations.com because this is where we're taking action and liberating humanity. First of all, do you know how imperative it is that every one of us, which is what we're doing right here through this podcast, stops the DSDI? You know what that is, right? The deep state digital ID that would be the end of freedom and personal sovereignty. So when you go to 120generations.com/free, you will see the page I'm showing you here if you're watching the video. And the headline on this page says, it reminds us how, while it asks the question, have you protected yourself from the hidden clause in your mortgage, allowing your bank to repossess your home, even if you made all your payments on time? I mean, it's pretty important for every one of us to stop that aspect of the deep state tyranny and oppression. Would you agree? In here, I'm asking the question, are all your loved ones protected from becoming homeless as well? We're doing that together as we're also stopping the DSDI, the Deep State Digital ID, before it's even attempted here. So I had one of my producers do a I wanted to show how widespread the programming for the digital ID is. So she did some research on this and she came up with this PDF that I'm sharing on the screen if you're watching the video. I just asked for about 20 sources, 20 stories on the digital ID. So let me just share with you some of these headlines. Japan's shift to cashless society prods BOJ call for payment innovation. That's from Reuters. Morocco's central bank explores digital currency cross-border payments. Reuters also. RBI to explore cross-border CBDC, the central bank digital currency, pilots as e-rupee circulation surges, the Times of India. So you can see that they're doing this all over the world, the deep state digital ID. And I'm saying, don't China my America, because that's unacceptable. I do not comply with that. And all of us, we're stopping that together right here. You know that, and you feel how urgent this is. They can't even attempt this because it's wrong, because that would be the end of freedom for every one of us. And we do not accept that. That's not happening because, no, I do not comply. I do not agree to that happening. And all of us must make that determination. And together, we're saying, hell no. Of course not. You don't have any right to tell me where I can travel and what I can post on social media. I mean, this is the model that China has imposed in its tyrannical, oppressive communist regime on its people. And I don't know why any of them would comply with that because, like, what was it, Patrick Henry, I think, who said, give me liberty or give me death? And, or, like on, what is it? Is it New Hampshire, I think, who has in their driver's license, live free or die? I mean, that's the American way. Oh, see, I got chills here just reflecting on this. We are free. I am sovereign. I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. So anytime oppressive tyrants, the deep state, the communists, the liberals, the Democrats, the extremists, the fascists, the authoritarians, whatever you want to call them, anytime that they're taking or even threatening to take your freedom, well, all of us must step up and stop it. There's no question about that. So, I mean, like in China, where people were dying in their apartment buildings because the exit doors to those apartment buildings, and I'm thinking I saw pictures like, let's say maybe, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 floors, and maybe like taking up a whole block. So it maybe had like, I don't know, 40,000 people in there. I don't know. They were imprisoned in there. They couldn't go outside because they were not complying with the mandate for the bioweapon to be injected in them, or because, whatever, they weren't complying because their social credit score wasn't acceptable to the tyrannical communist oppressive regime. And so they weren't able to go out and get groceries. They didn't have, whatever food they had in their apartments or their whatever, their prison cells. They I mean, no, that's not anything. That's totally the opposite of what America is. America is the land of the free, home of the brave. And that will always be that because that is part of what America is. That's the dharma, the destiny, the duty of America and the duty of every American to preserve that. I mean, how many tens of thousands or tens of millions of people died so that America is free today for us, for you, your family, your children? I'm not going to allow the deep state digital ID, the DSDI, to end that, to end freedom for me and all of our children and you and all of your family members and our children's children? No, because I know that every one of us must stand up and stop this. You know that as well, right? And especially, I mean, I could go on and on with these 20 sources. I just asked my producer to give me 20 sources on this: privacy and digital ID, EU and US digital ID and CBDC privacy debate. CBDC tied to digital IDs raises financial repression concerns. Account-based CBDCs built on digital ID are the way forward, says BIS, Global Government FinTech. Will CBDCs be built on digital identity? Will you have to use a digital ID to access CBDCs? I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And so, I mean, they're programming people to expect this, just like the COVID fraud. I call it fraud 1.0, the attempted totalitarian takeover. And yet we already have precedents for stopping the deep state, the deep state digital ID, the DSDI. Because did you know that the well-known, well, let's just call him a tyrant without any other labels, Tony Blair of the UK, this was back in the 1990s, he attempted to roll out the deep state digital ID then, the DSDI, and they wouldn't have any part of that. They objected and they stopped it. So we already have precedents for that. You know how they try to roll out things in other places in the world before, like, America is the land of the free, and that's, the big prize for the deep state. And yet, while we already have precedents, the good people in the United Kingdom, they came together and they said, no, we aren't going to have anything to do with this digital ID. I mean, that would be the end of freedom, right? Because then they, well, you've seen this with crypto, like how the deep state has already done what they could to get back doors into it, and they would, like what, I don't remember, was that Coinbase where they had, these crypto places with the marketplaces where people would buy and exchange, and it would be all tracked. And then they took that, they did their best to oppress those places, and because anything that's outside of the control of the deep state, they oppose that. Well, and by the way, this is the end of evil's reign. That's what we are doing together right here through 120generations.com/free. And it's 120 generations because we are creating, this is what we're creating. Remember, all 8 billion of us are wealthy, sovereign, and free because of me. And you're saying that for yourself, all 8 billion of us are wealthy, sovereign, and free because of you. By all of us doing this together right here, right now. So when you go to 120generations.com/free, and it's called 120 generations because we're creating 120 generations of pulp, P-U-L-P. That's prosperity, unity, love, peace. We're creating 120 generations of, it's actually peace, unity, love, prosperity, pulp. We're creating 120 generations of peace for your children to have the life that they deserve, that all of us require, where your children and you can create any level of success, happiness, joy, fulfillment, well-being, peace of mind, prosperity, meaning, impact, contribution. We're all here to be of greater service to more people, and that's what we're creating together right here through 120generations.com/free. So when you go there, remember what I said earlier about, I mean, this is really key here. Have you protected yourself from the hidden clause in your mortgage, allowing your bank to repossess your home, even if you made all your payments? Are all your loved ones protected from becoming homeless as well? I mean, that to me is like, wow, we have to. When I saw that, when I heard about that, I was like, wow, we have to stop this immediately. That's how imperative this is for every one of us to get into our activist leadership roles, which is our divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. This is why you are here on the planet now, to stop this. That's why this is the podcast that stopped the DSDI, ended evil's tyranny and oppression, and liberated humanity, all because of you doing this yourself and doing this with and for everyone connected with you, bringing every one of your online friends into this very podcast. So, I mean, already go back to the beginning of this podcast, Operation Greatness podcast number 87, and post about each of the points that I'm inviting us all to see and discuss, and share your thoughts as separate posts. And in your posts, link back to this podcast. This is you liberating humanity. This morning, I love how I call it the whispers of destiny, or you could say God is communicating with us, or the universe, or life, whatever words, people have religious hang-ups about certain things because they were brainwashed into being very limited and limiting the unlimited, which is the word. I mean, God to me represents the infinite and unlimited, of which you are its expression in physical form, in the physical world. I mean, there's a deep contemplation for you to recognize. Anyway, I love how I use the word God to describe the infinite and unlimited. You can use whatever word you like. I love how God handed me something really important in terms of this Operation Greatness podcast this morning. It was a Jordan Peterson video, and Jordan is talking about how each of us is influencing 1,000 people during our lifetimes. And I mean, like I have 180, I don't know, whatever it is, 182, 83,000 people following me on X, Twitter. I still call it Twitter because that makes sense. That's a cute name. And X is kind of like, what, huh? But anyway, so I like say 182,000 people following me on Twitter. And but anyway, but the average person, I think the average person has more than 4,000 people on all their social media. How many people do you have that you can lead into this action pod number 87, stopping evil's reign of tyranny? Lead every one of them. Lead everyone connected with you, all your online friends, into doing this with us, all through 120generations.com/free, 120generations.com/free, and getting every one of them involved. So like this Jordan Peterson talks about how, I mean, this video from Jordan Peterson, I really respect his work. I love his insight. I think he's one of the greatest philosophers of our time and leaders of our time, thinkers of our time. Anyway, he says the average person will have contact and influence on 1 million people during their lifetimes. No, 1,000 people, excuse me, 1,000 people. And then he says, and then those 1,000 people will have influence on their 1,000. So you're one person away from 1 million people, because your 1,000 people in his model are reaching their 1,000 people. So you can influence 1 million people. And then those million people influencing their thousands. So he says you're two people away from influencing 1 billion people. That's an easier way for people to understand it. My way is like right here, I'm asking you to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate your 1,200 online friends. And actually, I mean to liberate every one of your online friends. And some people only have 10 people. Some people have 10 million people. Or Elon Musk has like whatever it is, 222 million, I think it is. Last I checked, anyway, if I remember right. And like President Trump has like 100 and I don't know, I forgot what that was, 108 million or 111, 12, 13 million. I forgot what it is. People. I mean, this is the higher purpose of all of our lives. Even Elon Musk and even President Trump. This is more substantial than everything that even President Trump has done so far. So far. Because this is all of us coming together. So by you getting, just if we use the number 1,200, because you can do that right here, leading every one of your online friends into this work, joining us at 120generations.com/free, your 1,200 people getting their 1,200 people, now you've liberated 1,440,000 people who are then getting their 1,200 people, and that's 1.728 billion people, 1,728 million people. So like Jordan Peterson says, you're 1,000 getting their 1,000, that's 1 billion people. He says you're two people away from influencing a billion people. And I love how he talks about that because this is our role. This is our divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. This is why every one of us are here during this historic, unprecedented time in human history to transform the world, to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate. LITL, humanity doing a little more today in being of greater service. This is why every one of us is here. So how are we doing this? We're all doing this together through 120generations.com/free. And I'm showing, if you're watching the video, I'm showing you the inside of this. We're going through this video where we're learning how to protect ourselves and to save our homes. And this is something we're going to talk about. We're going to do this as a watch party where every one of us is doing this together. And we're I'm going to give you the post you can share with your audience, and they're going to take you deeper into this yourself, and we're all doing this together, all through 120generations.com/free. And then it's even more exciting because this is like you handing the keys to the kingdom to every one of your online friends. You're giving them the power to become financially free. Because all of this, there is a financial aspect to it. And that's really critical because I don't know if you know this about me. I've taught Think and Grow Rich at the master's level since back in 2003. And, and so I'm going to share with you the secret that the wealthy and successful previously just kept to themselves, and they've used it for hundreds of years, thousands of years to create anything that they wanted. And this is now something that you are going to begin using yourself. These are the 13 steps to riches, and they're responsible for creating more wealth than anything in history, including more than 1 million millionaires. So I'm going to walk you through applying these 13 steps to riches to you getting your 1,200 online friends doing this through you. And so it costs just $26 to become part of the Think and Grow Rich Direct Experience Live. I'm showing this to you on the page. And let me just play this little 1-minute video here from Rob Goyette. I want you to hear this if you can. I don't remember I think it'll work okay, but if it's not, it's only a minute, so I think it'll be good.
Think and Grow Rich calls a month or so ago with Dan Clapp, but he led a super powerful Think and Grow Rich workshop over 3 weeks. And so I think what he's going to do is an advanced version of that class. And I'll tell you, I had a 2 hour coaching call with Dan, and gosh, I still need to work on the mindset part, but I have got a plan now to earn $5 million in my business by the end of the year, and I know how to do it. In fact, I've got 3 ways to do it, and so I'm going to be implementing that, and so we'll see. I don't know if I'll hit the 5 million, but holy cow, if I do, I'm going to be giving Dan so much credit and praise because he's the one that inspired it through his Think and Grow Rich stuff. So if you like the book Think and Grow Rich, Dan is probably one of the top experts in the world on this. And Napoleon Hill wrote it, but he's no longer with us. This might be the next best person to actually learn this stuff from.
So this is what you are mastering, and this is how you're creating everything that you want. And we're going to specifically do this with you getting your 1,200 people, because remember, your 1,200 people getting their 1,200, and you've liberated 1,440,000 people who are then getting their 1,200. And that's how you, my friend, have liberated the whole of humanity. You stopped the DSDI, ended evil's tyranny and oppression, and liberated humanity. All of us doing this together through 120generations.com/free. So this is the power that you have. And I suggest this is your greatest contribution to the world. And yet, oh, by the way, you're 1,200 people. By them doing this with us through 120generations.com/free, by them doing this through your link, your Freedom Money link, you're 1,200 people, because here's how this works. We're all doing the Think and Grow Rich Direct Experience together, and that costs $26. Once you post your review of the direct experience, or at least some aspect of it, or how excited you are to be part of liberating humanity, just post your review of that, and I will give you a full week in our private community. And I'm showing that to you here on the video, if you can see that. And this, when you stay with us for after the full free week, then it costs just $59 a month. And every one of your online friends, your 1,200 people, when they are getting their full free week through you, and then they are joining us long term, that it's cost $59 a month, and yet you are getting $29.50 per month from everyone connected with you joining us in our private mastermind. So 1,200 people times your $29.50 per month, that's $35,400 per month. And to me, that's enough to make a pretty sizable mortgage payment, like on your dream home, for example. And remember, we're stopping that clause, we're protecting ourselves from that clause that would or is allowing the deep state to repossess your home. We're stopping that together. And anyway, you can see here, like, unlocking the master key in Think and Grow Rich. This course here, I believe that's honestly worth $25,000 to you, just to have me walk you through that. And we're also doing the Ultimate Life $120,000 Success Coaching Program. Let me just show you. It's right here. I'm showing you that on the video. No, this is the wrong. Okay, that's the unlocking the master key and Think and Grow Rich. It's a 43-minute, 29-second video, and that's pretty. I mean, that's the one that I believe is worth $25,000. Here's the Ultimate Life $120,000 Ultimate Life Coaching Program. Like, Lesson one is this is how much you matter. Lesson two is honoring your role as the consciousness keeper. Lesson three is no longer limiting the unlimited. Anyway, it goes on and on and on and on. And it's like, I believe it's honestly worth $120,000 as the greatest coaching program that you've ever done. So, anyhow, all of us are giving each other the keys to the kingdom. I'm just showing you another section. There's the daily insight and success focus. Like I live the life I create. I pick myself up. I radiate positivity. I nurture myself. All of these are separate lessons that you can do every day to just get you back on track, get you back in your center, in your power. And your power is beyond measure. I mean, you literally right here have seen you have the power to liberate humanity by sharing the podcast that stopped the DSDI, ended evil's tyranny and oppression, and liberated humanity. All because of you. By you getting your 1,200 people who are getting their 1,200 people, and you've liberated 1,728,000,000 people. I mean, to me, this is like the most important thing that you have ever done, the greatest contribution you have ever made. The world is free because of you. This is your duty, your destiny. I am sovereign, I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. I am wealthy, sovereign, and free. This is my duty, my destiny. So let's do this meditation here that I mentioned. This is really huge. So I'm calling this humanity's unifying manifestation. So just take a deep breath in, turn within to your power, come back to your center, and now see that every one of us is wealthy, sovereign, and free. All 8 billion of us, in fact, are wealthy, sovereign, and free because of you. Doing this yourself through 120generations.com/free. So really see this as complete. You have transformed the lives, you've liberated your online friends. If that's 10 people, then great. And if that's 10 million, then great. Because then all of your online friends have liberated all of their online friends. Just see this very clearly in your mind's eye, in your imagination, which is your power. And someone said, I really like this, that imagination is God. Your ability to see this now is how you are creating this now. Everything happens in thought first, and then you will see it in your reality and in the world. So see right now that you have liberated every one of your online friends who have joined us at 120generations.com/free, and all of your online friends are now liberating all of their online friends. And let's say 1,200 people becomes 1,440,000 becomes 1,728,000,000 or more, because you're getting every one of your online friends doing this, and they are getting every one of their online friends doing this. And together we have liberated humanity. All 8 billion of us are wealthy, sovereign, and free because of you honoring the purpose of your life, your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. So just be very clear about this. See this as already so. Know that you created this, and this is your higher purpose, and this is your greatest contribution to the world. It's why you're here on the planet right now. This means everything. This is the turning point in human history, and all 8 billion of us are wealthy, sovereign, and free because of you, honoring the gift you truly are. And we all did this together through 120generations.com/free. So see this very clearly. Breathe into this. How great does it feel knowing the impact that you personally had on the world? It's pretty phenomenal, right? You have the power to do this, and you did it courageously, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to you. And I mean, you don't need the praise or the thanks or the gratitude or the appreciation, because you know in your heart you did what you came here in physical form, in this body, in this life to do. You did it, and you feel so, I mean, it's beyond words, right? Because you had no idea, oh, I'm getting chills here. You had no idea you were this powerful, and now you know because you fulfilled your destiny. You had the impact that was your duty to do. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful for you feeling this and being courageous and focusing your power and living your purpose and enjoying your fulfillment and contributing so meaningfully, so profoundly to the world. How does this feel? You know this is right. You know this is your higher purpose and it's why you're here. And you feel so complete, whole. Wow. And your life has expanded so much, your belief in yourself, you know how much you matter. All of that because you went to 120generations.com/free and you did this yourself and you led everyone connected with you. You led, inspired, transformed, and liberated them, doing a little more LITL today in being of greater service. And the whole world transformed as a result of that. I love you. I believe in you. I know how much you matter, and I'm so grateful for you recognizing that yourself right here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.